When it comes to guns that punch way above their size, micro revolvers are the unsung heroes of the firearms world. They're light, concealable, and often overlooked until you try to replace one you sold and realize you can't. Some of these little wheel guns aren't just functional, they're rare, collectible, and rapidly gaining value. So, today we're diving into 10 micro revolvers you should never sell. Whether it's historical value, discontinued status, or simply unmatched engineering, these pocket-sized powerhouses deserve a permanent place in your safe. So, let's get started with number 10. Model 317 Airlight. The Smith & Wesson Model 317 Airlight is a featherweight 22 LR revolver that proves less really can be more. Weighing in at just 11.7 ounces, it's made of aluminum alloy and designed specifically for hiking, backpacking, and ultra-light carry. If you're trekking the backwoods and counting every ounce, this little J-frame revolver is the dream. This isn't your average plinker either. It's smooth, reliable, and gives you 8 rounds of 22 LR, which is no joke in a package this light. You're getting a full-sized utility tool and something that barely tips the scale. It's ideal for dispatching small game, survival situations, or simply peace of mind deep in the wilderness. Smith & Wesson doesn't mass-produce these like they used to, and earlier runs, especially those in excellent condition, are getting harder and harder to find. Collectors are starting to recognize their rarity, and prices have reflected that. It may not roar like a Magnum, but it speaks loud in practicality, utility, and real-world usefulness. It's one of those revolvers you don't realize you miss until you've sold it and you can't find another. Whether you're a collector, a hiker, or a survivalist, the Model 317 is a micro revolver you should never let go of. Number 8. The Ruger LCR 22 WMR. The Ruger LCR in 22 Magnum is a micro revolver with big potential packed into a small frame. Thanks to its polymer construction, aluminum monolithic frame, and friction-reducing cam trigger system, it offers one of the smoothest double-action pulls you'll find in any revolver this size. It's lightweight, tipping the scales at just under 17 ounces, and holds 6 rounds of potent 22 WMR. Now, does that sound like much? No, but in real-world use, it's an ideal blend of power, recoil control, and concealability. Whether you're pocket carrying, ankle rigging, or stashing it in a go bag, the LCR disappears until you need it. Here's the kicker too. Ruger doesn't produce these continuously. When they go out of stock, they stay out for a while, and secondary market prices shoot up. CCW carriers love it for the minimal recoil, and collectors hoard it because of Ruger's sporadic production cycles. You'll often find people holding onto them for years, and for good reason. It's one of the few micro revolvers that checks all the boxes. It's reliable, modern, easy to shoot, and packs enough punch for defense. If you've got one, do yourself a favor and don't sell it. You'll regret it the second you try finding another. Number 7. The Colt Detective Special. At number 7, we've got a true hidden gem, the Colt Detective Special, but not the one most people think of. We're talking about the uncommon chamberings like 32 Colt or 38 Smith & Wesson, not the standard 38 Special that everyone knows and loves. These oddball caliber versions are rare birds, and their value has been climbing steadily. But dig a little deeper and you'll find that those early production Pathfinders were built with cleaner machining, stronger steel, and tighter tolerances than many of the models that came later. In fact, some of these older versions rival modern production guns in fit and finish without the fancy price tag. The Pathfinder is lightweight, reliable, and very manageable in terms of recoil. It's perfect for small game hunting, pest control, or even as a discreet backup defense gun. It's got just enough power to matter without the bulk or bark of a larger caliber. Today, finding a Pathfinder in good original condition is like scoring a hidden treasure. Most owners have no idea what they're sitting on, but collectors and revolver nerds are always watching. So if you own one of these early 22 mag Pathfinders, don't sell it. It's one of those sleeper classics that only gains value with time. Clean it, shoot it, stash it, but keep it. Number 5. The Smith & Wesson Model 60 No-Dash Stainless 38. The original Smith & Wesson Model 60, a stainless steel J-frame chambered in .38 Special, was nothing short of revolutionary when it hit the market in the mid-1960s. Why? Well, because it was the first ever all-stainless production revolver. That might not sound groundbreaking today, but back then it was a game changer for durability, especially in humid environments or for law enforcement who carried every day, rain or shine. Now, here's where it gets juicy. If you've got a no-dash Model 60, meaning it's one of the earliest versions before Smith & Wesson started adding revision numbers, you're holding something collectible, historic, and increasingly rare. These early guns were made before modern manufacturing shortcuts. We're talking no MIM or metal injection molded parts, no internal locks, just forged steel components, hand-fit internals, and a trigger that breaks like glass. The craftsmanship is obvious the second you cycle the action or look down that fixed-sight barrel. Collectors today are on the hunt for clean early Model 60s, especially for those before Smith & Wesson introduced safety locks and cost-cutting designs. Prices on no-dash versions have been climbing steadily, especially if they come with the original box and paperwork. So if someone offers you $400 at a gun show for your early Model 60, walk away fast. You won't find another in that condition without paying triple the price. It's not just a gun, it's a piece of American firearms history, so keep it, shoot it, love it, but don't let it go. Number 4. The H&R Model 732 Snub 32. H&R 732 might just be a hidden gem in the world of micro revolvers. Number 3. The Freedom Arms Model 97 22LR. If you know Freedom Arms, you know they don't mess around. They build some of the tightest, most precise revolvers in the world, and the Model 97 in 22LR is one of their most underrated masterpieces. This isn't just another rimfire plinker. It's a match-grade single-action revolver where everything from the cylinder gap to the trigger brake is tuned like a Swiss watch. Each one is hand-fitted, test-fired, and built to standards more commonly seen in high-end target rifles. The accuracy is unreal. I mean, we're talking dime-sized groups at 25 yards all day long. The 22LR version is particularly rare. Freedom Arms doesn't crank these out in big numbers, and when they do show up, they disappear fast. They're not for casual gun owners, they're for people who appreciate perfection. And because they're built to last a lifetime and then some, owners tend to keep them. The ones that hit the market usually come with a high price tag, and honestly, they're worth every penny. So if you're lucky enough to already have one, do not sell it. This is one of those guns that goes from heirloom to legend. You'll regret letting it go the second it leaves your hands. Number 2, the Taurus Model 94 22LR, pre-lock 9-shot. The old Taurus 94 might not scream collector's item at first glance, but early pre-lock models with 9-round cylinders and adjustable sights are becoming increasingly sought after. Taurus used to produce these in decent numbers, and the early ones were built surprisingly well. They're great for training, plinking, and even as trail guns. And with 9 shots of 22LR, they offer more capacity than most micro revolvers on the market. The reason they're becoming rare is because Taurus quietly discontinued them, and those older models are drying up fast. If yours has a clean action and smooth double action trigger, don't sell it. You'll miss it the moment you try to find another. Number 1, the S&W Model 43C Airlight 22LR. Topping the list is the Smith & Wesson Model 43C, an ultralight 8-shot 22LR revolver built for concealed carry, deep backup, or lightweight field use. And when we say ultralight, we mean it. Just 11 ounces unloaded. That's lighter than your smartphone. The 43C features an aluminum alloy frame, carbon steel barrel insert, and a set of simple sights. It's minimalist by design, but don't be fooled. This little revolver is shockingly dependable. It feeds and fires most 22LR loads without fuss, which is impressive for a rimfire gun known for being picky. So, why is it number 1 on the list of micro revolvers you should never sell? Well, because S&W only makes small batches and they go fast. Most gun stores never even see them on the shelves. They're out of stock almost permanently online, and when a few do trickle in the market, the price is going up fast. The 43C is one of those guns you can slip into your pocket, pack in a bug-out bag, or keep by the bed without a second thought. It's featherweight, reliable, and holds 8 rounds of 22LR, more than enough for varmint duty or last-ditch defense. You might forget you own it until you need it, and when that day comes, you'll realize nothing else fills the role quite like it. So if you've got one, keep it close. You'll never find another without a long wait and a bigger price tag. Now, micro revolvers aren't just novelties. They're working tools, historical artifacts, and in some cases, tiny investments that quietly gain value while sitting in your gun safe. So before you trade one in for the next polymer wonder gun, take a step back. Is it rare? Is it discontinued? And does it have a trigger so smooth it feels illegal? Then maybe, just maybe, it deserves to stay in the family. Now, if you enjoyed this list, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden gems, and drop a comment of which micro revolver would you never part with. Until next time, stay sharp, stay legal, and never underestimate the power of a little wheel gun with a lot of history.